Today, I'm going to reveal you 5 powerful habits that can make you a highly successful programmer. These habits took me from struggling with code for hours to writing clean, efficient programs like a pro. If you stick to them, your programming skills will skyrocket in just a few weeks. And trust me, Habit 5 is an absolute game changer. Don't miss it. Success in programming isn't about talent or luck. It's about habits. If you're watching this, you probably struggle with over-engineering, poor time management, or ignoring best practices. The good news? You can fix these starting today, so grab a notebook, hit that like button, and let's dive in. Habit 1. Keep it simple. Have you ever looked at your own code and thought, what kind of Frankenstein monster did I just create? Well, that's over-engineering, making things way more complex than they need to be. Imagine this. You're working on a project, and instead of writing a simple function, you create this giant, overcomplicated system with 10 different files, 3 extra frameworks, and 1,000 lines of code, just to do something that could have been done in 50 lines. Here's the rule. If there's a simpler way to write something without losing quality, do it. Good programmers don't write clever code. They write clear code. So before writing your next piece of code, ask yourself, can I make this simpler? If the answer is yes, then cut the fluff. Habit 2. Communicate like a pro. I get it. You watched 4 seasons of Mr. Robot, got yourself a black hoodie, and now you think being a programmer means working alone in a dark room, hacking into secret databases. Reality check. Programming is a team sport. Even if you're freelancing, you'll need to explain your work, collaborate, and take feedback. Imagine you've built a fantastic app, but when your team asks how it works, you mumble, just read the code. No one wants to read the code if it looks like a magic spell written in an alien language. Good programmers ask questions, explain their logic, and help others understand their code. So next time, before you write code, think about how you'll explain it to someone else. If you can't explain it clearly, rewrite it. Habit 3. Follow best practices. Raise your hand if you've ever thought, who cares about best practices? As long as the code works, it's fine. Well, here's the harsh truth. Bad code will come back to haunt you. Let's say you're freelancing. You deliver a project, the client is happy, and then, a month later, they come back screaming, why is this code breaking everything? And guess what? It's your fault, because you didn't follow best practices. Best practices aren't just boring rules. They're battle-tested guidelines that keep your code clean, readable, and maintainable. So from today, make it a habit to 1. Follow naming conventions. 2. Write proper documentation. 3. Keep your functions small and focused. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Habit 4. Plan before you code. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You get an idea, you open your code editor, and you start writing code without any plan. An hour later, your screen looks like the Matrix, and you have no idea what's going on. That's because coding without planning is like building a house without a blueprint. You'll end up with a mess. So before you start coding, take 5 minutes to write down what your code should do. Sketch out the structure. Identify potential problems in advance. You can use tools like Notion, Trello, or even a simple notepad. Whatever helps you visualize your work. A little planning will save you hours of frustration later. Habit 5. Master time management. We programmers are the busiest people on the planet. If we're not writing code, we're fixing bugs, watching tutorials, or endlessly scrolling Stack Overflow. And yet, most of us stink at managing time. Let me guess. You've tried making a schedule, but you never stick to it. That's because rigid schedules don't work for everyone. Instead, try this. Use the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Time block your day. Set fixed hours for coding, learning, and breaks. Know when to stop. Overworking leads to burnout, not progress. The key is consistency, not working 12 hours today and burning out tomorrow. Recap. Here are the 5 habits of highly successful programmers. Keep it simple. No over-engineering. Write clean, efficient code. Communicate like a pro. Explain your work clearly and collaborate. Follow best practices. Don't just write code. Write good code. Plan before you code. A 5-minute plan saves hours of debugging. Master time management. Work smarter, not harder. Now, if you're serious about becoming a better programmer, hit that subscribe button like your future depends on it, because it just